tell you something about statistics. Human beings use statistics even unknowingly. People use statistics even without knowing. Okay? They don't even know they are using the statistics, and they are using it unintentionally, unknowingly. They kept the information regarding daily life activities, such as record of their cattle, properties, crops, etc. States used statistic only to keep information regarding the number of police. States means a country or a district keeps the record in the form of statistics regarding the number of police, soldier, etc. It took a long time. It took a long time to understand that we are using statistics in every field. And the application of statistics. Meaning and definition of a statistic, we can simply define it as a statistic may be defined as, or can be defined as, the collection. Pen is not working, I guess. The collection, presentation, analysis, and interpretation of numerical data. The collection, presentation, analysis, and interpretation of numerical data is simply known as statistics. There are two parts of statistics, that is theoretical statistics. The second part is applied statistics. Theoretical can also be called mathematical. And even the theoretical is divided into two parts. First is descriptive. Second is inferential. This has no parts. Applied statistics have no parts. So let's go to the descriptive statistics. Descriptive statistic is the statistic information in a newspaper, magazine. Descriptive statistics, that means the summarized and presented data or information which is present in newspaper, magazine, company report, share market information, and other publication consist of data that are summarized and presented in a form that is easy for the reader to understand. In descriptive statistic, the data, the information presented in newspaper, magazine, company report, share market information, and other publication. In descriptive statistic, the statistical information presented in newspaper, magazine, company report, share market information, and other publication consist of a data that are summarized and presented in a form that is easy to understand for a reader. Easy for the reader to understand. Such summaries of data, which can be in tabular. Tabular means in this form, which consists of table, which includes table in it. Graphical means which represent in graphically, which represent in graph, this, or numerically, that is termed as descriptive statistic. The statistical information in newspaper, magazine, company reports, or etc. that are summarized and presented in the form that is easy for the reader to understand. Such summaries of data, which may be tabular, graphical, and numerical, are termed as descriptive statistic, which describe the statistic more efficiently and more clearly. Some of the descriptive statistic measures are measure of tendency, measure of dispersion, measure of skewness, measure of kurtosis, etc. Inferential statistic. In inferential statistic, the sample are taken from the population. The samples are taken from the population in such a way that the drawn sample can represent the entire population for the characteristics on the study. Different statistical techniques are used to draw the valid conclusion on the basis of statistical measures calculated for the sample data, so that the conclusion can be representative of the whole data. So in inferential statistic, the sample are taken from the population in such a way that the drawn sample, this is the sample, the drawn sample can represent the entire population for the characteristics on the study. In Statistic does not have the parts like theoretical statistic, but this consists of massive application of theoretical and mathematical in the different area. The statistical tool and method are used in order to solve many more practical problems in diversified area. Some puzzling question in the world that are like statistic may be the art of making numerical conjectures about the following mentioned and many others not mentioned puzzling question in the world. Which business firm is more prosperous for further investment? How many people are employed, unemployed? Who is going to win the next election by how much? What caused the resemblance between parent and children, and how strong is that force? Why does the casino make a profit at a outlet? What are the effects of new medical treatment? The statistical tool and method are used in order to solve many more practical problems in diversified area. Besides that, applied statistic may have has been used in different decision-making problems. Applied statistic do not have the part like theoretical statistic and mathematical statistic, but still it consists of massive application of theoretical and mathematical statistic in different area. The statistical tool and methods are used in order to solve many practical questions, problems in diversified area. Besides that, applied statistic have been used in decision-making problem. Hence, in other side, statistic may be the art of making numerical conjectures. Conjectures means opinion about the function of statistic is to represent fact from numerical figure in a definite form. For example, I'll explain to you very clearly that if somebody says per capita income in Nepal, income of Nepal in year 2077 is more than the year 2076, then it does not give definite conclusion. It does not give definite conclusion. There is lack of conclusion in it. But if the exact increased figure of per capita income is given, then the information will become definite. If the proof of the increased per capita income of Nepal is given, then it becomes the definite conclusion. So, statistic plays a vital role to represent fact from numerical figure in a definite form. If this per capita income shows in a numerical figure and represented in the final conclusion that it actually is increased in 2076 then the 2077, so it will become a definite form. This is the widely and voluminous data. If the data is wide and voluminous, which have the huge mass of data, then statistic helps to condense, it helps to decrease, it helps to give the average of the huge and voluminous data by using appropriate statistical measures. For example, if we collect the age of 100 students, then they can be condensed by calculating the average age of students. Then a single average value can represent the age of whole 100 students on an average. If we are collecting the age of 100 students, then we can condense it in average age, and by calculating the average age of student, then a single average value can represent the age of a whole 100 student average age. To help classification of data, to make the data comprehensive, we have to classify the data in some statistical principle. It helps in classifying data according to the nature of data. To provide method of making comparison. To provide method of making comparison. To provide method of making comparison. For example, height and weight can be compared by converting them into relative statistical measures. To help in formulating policies. Policies. In order to formulate, plan, and implementing policies, one should have based on statistical conclusion drawn based on data analysis. Policy making in different area such as wages, income, tax, export, etc. are based on the statistical inference drawn from these areas to determine relationship between different phenomena. To define relationship between different phenomena, Statistical techniques such as correlation and regression, etc., are useful to measure the relationship between the variables. One can easily observe the correlation between income and expenditure of a family, ages, and playing habits of student, etc. To help in predicting future trends. To help in predicting future trends on the basis of past or present estimates, value of variables, it actually helps to forecast future trends. This function to help in predicting a statistic helps to predict the future. For example, in time series analysis, regression analysis, etc. helps to forecast future. Some hypotheses can easily be generally set up and can be tested by calculating statistic measure from the sample data. The scope of statistics, computer and information technology. Statistics is used or linked in computer and information technology, even statistics and accounting, statistics and finance, statistics and economics, statistic business and management science. Role of statistic in research. Statistic is the science of collection, analysis, interpretation or explanation and presentation of data. It has wide uses in the field of research. In fact, all the data collection and interpretation techniques used in research are part of statistics. This is the definition of statistics. You can write this note. Most important part, that is limitation of statistic. Statistics do not deal with individual, it only deals with group of individuals and indicates the characteristics of whole group. Statistics does not deal qualitative characteristics directly, such as knowledge, honesty, beauty, etc., by changing them into quantitative with some suitable numerical value, that is 1 2 3 4 5, which can be used, and statistic deal in that particular numerical values. Then the qualitative characteristics. Statistics law are not exact, does not hold good in every case. Law does not hold good in every case, so it is not exact, I think so. Statistics can be misused. Only the expert statistician can handle statistical data properly. It is likely to be misused by non-statistical person in handling data and interpreting the result. It is even hard to handle the data if it is non-statistical person. And this is distrust of statistics. Figures are innocent, seem easily believable, and more convincing figures are also psychologically more appealing. And this.